Sometimes I think graffiti is lovely. Anyway, today we're setting off down the Aire Calder, and we figured out how to do the short looks without getting ourselves in a pickle. Because the base of our boat is so wide, I have to try to keep the back of the boat aimed to the V of the lock gates, where there's a little bit more room, and I have to keep the engine running in these to make sure that I don't float back over the sill, because the sill is there and the back of the boat is sort of slightly overhanging, so I have to keep an eye on that. Once some of the water has come out of the lock, the bow of the boat goes underneath that platform and gives me a little bit more room. The trouble is, when the gates leak as much as this, you can end up flooding the back of the boat. Then Henry opens up the door on the opposite side to the bow, and I try to go back as far as I can without getting flooded, and then he pulls the bow around this door with the rope, because if I try to come around it, the boat goes forward and shuts it. Okay, I'm out, but the back deck is completely flooded again. You're on camera. Well, it's a bit frustrating. We haven't been going very long today, and we were trying to motor along because Castleford has got restrictions tomorrow, and we've just got to Broad Cut Top Lock, just about to go on the river, and it's only filling about 95%, and that last little bit won't fill, and we've done everything we can think of, and now we've had to call CRT and wait for them to come. There's not even lots of people around here, so we can't get a gang of people sort of trying to force the gates open, which is never something you really want to have to do anyway. Well, it's super hot now. It's getting up towards, I don't know, 26, 27, 28 degrees. We're trying to think what else we can do apart from wait. Well, when the CRT man got there, he immediately emptied all the lock and then filled it again, and we hadn't liked to do that because of the shortage of water at the moment, but he said that sometimes debris or twigs get caught onto the ground paddle and it won't shut properly. If they told us this on the phone, we could have tried it ourselves, but it worked. I know, it's boiling, isn't it? This is a stretch of river called the 5 Mile Pond, and it's wide and it's very beautiful, and there's something very special about getting up with the dawn and going out early, and I always enjoy it because I'm an early riser, but today even Henry was up early. While looking for some yogurt, we cycled off the canal for a couple of miles and came across this fantastic little village called Snaith, which has got absolutely brilliant shops in. This one over here is a zero waste shop and loads of fruit and veg. She's so nice, really friendly. There's a farmer and butcher down there, and on the corner a do-it-yourself shop which has everything in it. I mean, from the teapot to wood hardener, everything you could want. What a great place. This morning we're at a junction. Down there, that away, is Keedby, where we need to be by first thing Sunday morning. Up there is where we've come from. And down here is the canal to Doncaster and Sheffield. And we're taking a walk down there to go and have a look at what should be a pretty little village called Barnby Dub. We're going there really because it's got such a fantastic name. We're not sure if we can turn the boat down there, so it's only a mile or so. We're going to take ourselves for a walk. And there, with pure serendipity, we found a brilliant farm shop and managed to stock up for the rest of the week. Well, a weird thing has happened this morning. I got up really early, about 6, and I was going to chug on down to Thorne. We're on the Stainforth and Keedby Canal, about 2 miles out of Thorne. And I went to take off our front rope and chain, and I noticed this knife sitting on the grass, and I thought it wasn't Henry's, but I wasn't totally sure. So I just picked it up and undid the front chain, and then I came to take the back rope off the pins and it was just sitting on the grass. Boat was fine, but the pins had disappeared. So somebody has obviously tried to cast us off, either in the middle of the night or really early this morning, and realised that they weren't going to be able to cut through all the rope with this knife, and then forgot it and left it there. But it's really remote around here. Look. There's nothing that way for a couple of miles, and nothing that way, and there's no houses around. We could hear a party in the distance last night, but I don't know if somebody was walking home in the early hours along here. It couldn't have been completely black, or they wouldn't have been able to see what they were doing. Anyway, Henry is walking up the tow path just to see if he can see the pins being chucked away somewhere, but I don't know, they're probably in the cut by now. So it's a bit strange. We are feeling a bit disconcerted. We are making our way down to Thorne, but it's such a thick mist, I can hardly see where I'm going. Well, we've done all our stuff in Thorne and it's super hot again, about 30 degrees already, and we're just going to mosey on down towards Keedby, and we've had a warning from CRT that there is a swing bridge down here with antisocial behaviour happening, and the police won't come out between the hours of 12 and 9, 12 lunchtime till 9 in the evening. No, sorry, not the police. The CRT won't come out for emergencies during those times. The police are informed. So it's probably the same lot that took our mooring pins out last night. And I found out since that it happened to the boat behind us as well. Anyway, £40 later, we're now kitted back up with pins. And while we go on down past this swing bridge, I'm going to keep the camera rolling, because there's nothing puts antisocial behaviour off as much as having a camera pointed at them. I'm not really worried. I mean, it's just usually numpties, isn't it? Well, this is the site of the swing bridge where there's been lots of antisocial behaviour. I don't know what the nature of it was, but all is quiet here today. So that's good. No dramas here. I think that some kids might have been hanging on to the swing bridge as it went up, which would be worrying if you were on a boat trying to go through. I don't suppose it's that deep here either, but I don't really know what was going on, but it doesn't really matter now. Sunday morning, and we're leaving really early from this gorgeous mooring spot we had last night. And we've only got to go a couple of miles, but we have to get to the Vaison Bridge at 9 o'clock because the rail company are only opening it once a day at the moment because the temperature is too high later on. So I think there's going to be 3 of us going through today, and all travelling down the Trent tomorrow. I've always loved early mornings. When I was a teenager, I did a paper round, and I used to love that time before everyone was up, and later on coming home from a club in the dawn, meeting the milkman. Really nice. And here in the countryside, just get the bird song over the noise of the engine, and not even any dog walkers up yet today, just motoring into the sunshine. Gorgeous. All the harvest is in the fields around. I'll show you. We've noticed they go for the old school square bales up here, which is rather nice to see. Very golden. I mean, a lot of that is the lack of water, I think, because it's making the grass very yellow on the sides, but lovely in this light. And up ahead is the bridge that we have to go through. They're only opening it once a day when the temperature goes over 26 degrees, which it is at the moment. It's going up to about 31, something like that. So I think the metal buckles a bit in the heat, so they can only slide it across at 9 in the morning before it's got too hot. There's some other boats up there waiting too, so there might be a few of us going through, and a nice little bunch of us going up the tidal Trent tomorrow. And here I'll take my leave until next week. It's been a peaceful couple of days apart from the mooring pins, and this is a lovely summer heatwave sunrise that I recorded. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye for now.